In a development that promises to shake up the race, wealthy entrepreneur and former mayor of New York City, Mike Bloomberg, qualified for tonight's Democratic presidential debate. A new poll showed him surging nationally into the runner-up position right behind Senator Bernie Sanders. Now, to speak with us more on the topic are our political correspondents, Tom Santulli and Dora Leland. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Big night in Las Vegas tonight. Yes. What can we expect? Whoever wants to jump on it first.
So I'll begin. I think all eyes are going to be on Mike Bloomberg tonight. I think he is definitely the candidate to watch. His campaign has taken off. His $400 million campaign with TV ads has generated an enormous amount of momentum. I think the other candidates are going to look to take shots at him. I think he's going to have to field some really tough questions about his stop and frisk, his policies on being potentially sexist, racist against people of color. I think the candidates are going to launch some hard questions at him. I think he's going to have to prove that he is a candidate that has solid plans for the nation. I think he's going to have to prove that he can answer some tough questions with some meaningful responses. Otherwise, I think he's going to be known as the candidate who bought his way onto the stage tonight.
Now, piggybacking off of that, how do you think he stacks up against his rivals?
Well, it'll be interesting because Bernie Sanders is the hot item right now, and he has very strong supporters, and he's going to make sure he doesn't, what happened to him in 2016, or last time that he ran, that he doesn't have the nomination taken away from him. You know, one thing we've learned, if you spend $1 million a day in advertising, you can accomplish a lot. And I've met Mike Bloomberg. I've done a press conference with him back when I was county executive. He's very bright, but not overly, you know, articulate. I would say he's not probably a great speaker, but he is, again, a billionaire. He's a business person. I think tonight's going to be something because I think the mission is there's an element that want to move Bernie Sanders out of there because they feel that he's a socialist and that's never going to win. And then you got the Mike Bloomberg, who's a billionaire, who some progressive Democrats don't have a high opinion of billionaires and don't think that they belong in those positions. So I think this is going to be very interesting. I think this will be a battle extraordinaire tonight.
Absolutely. Now, who do you think the front runner is?
I think the polls are showing Bernie Sanders in the position, but I think we have to step back and realize it's so soon. We haven't even come close to any of the key primaries or caucuses. I think that right now it's anyone's game. I think the candidate that is going to come through tonight is going to be the one that can prove they have solid plans, but they can unify both the right and the left. And I think the person on the stage with the most to prove tonight is Michael Bloomberg. I think people are going to want to see that he can put some plans behind his money, that he's just not a candidate of money. I think Bernie Sanders needs to just attack Bloomberg, and I think that his supporters will stand behind him. And I think Warren really needs to have a presence tonight. I think she has a path to the nomination, but she needs to regain some of the momentum that she's lost over the past couple months.
Yeah, there's no question the person on the stage tonight is going to be the next person at least that gets the nomination. There's no doubt about it. In 8 months of politics, of running, anything can happen. It just takes one slip of the tongue, one remark that you could regret for the rest of your entire life. So who the front runner is today, it could change. It just is. I mean, these guarantees that I already have people picked up, and these are what the polls say. The polls will change 10 times before this is over. And again, a lot can happen in 8 months that could change the whole makeup of what's going on.
Absolutely. Like you said, anything could happen. We're going to have to find out tonight how that all turns out. Now, with all of that in mind, 18 News set out to see what efforts the candidates were putting into the Twin Tiers area. Have they littered our lawns with signs, made calls to their constituents? Well, 18 News reporter Michaela Newton was in Mansfield, Pennsylvania to find out.